What is going on, y'all? This is Pay Me in Dividends, and today is March 23rd, 2025. Now, is this a buying opportunity for Nvidia? Let's take a look here, right? So year to date, it is down 14%, but of course, if we zoom out, it is still up 23% over the past year and 1,700% over the past 5 years. Now, what I want to take a look at is, remember when they did a 10-for-1 stock split in June of 2024? So about 8 or 9 months ago now. Let's go back to June 10th of 2024. We can see that the share price was around $120 per share, and today it is trading at $117 per share. So not much growth, all right, but the fundamentals of this company have not changed. The revenue continues to go up, and so you tell me in the comments, do you think that this is a buying opportunity? Let's look at the 52-week low. It's at $75 per share, and the high is at $153 per share. Now, there are some conflicting news on Nvidia. Some people think it's a buy, some people think it's a sell, some people think it'll continue to go down, some people think it'll continue to go up. I think long term Nvidia will do very, very well. Nvidia beat analyst earnings estimates on February 26. Despite that, the shares dropped about 8% the following day. Now, I think this is important to note because it just shows how market news can be very temperamental and can really affect the temporary price of a stock, despite the fundamentals still being very, very good. So in the fourth quarter of 2024, Nvidia earned about 89 cents per share, and analysts had estimated 85 cents per share. So again, they beat the analyst earnings. However, the share price dropped, which again is interesting and something to keep in mind, that news typically affect the price of a stock in the short term, but long term, as long as the fundamentals do not change, the company should not be affected. Let's take a look at their revenue. Now, this is something I want you guys to keep in mind. Look at the net profit margin, 56%. That means 56% of their revenue is profit, right? So for every dollar that they make, about 56 cents of that dollar is profit. I want to put that into perspective against other companies. Let's look at Amazon. They have a 10% net profit margin. We all agree that Amazon is one of the biggest companies in the world. They make a lot of money, they generate a lot of revenue, and they are at a 10% net profit margin versus Nvidia that is at a 56% net profit margin. Just to give you a bit more perspective, let's take a look at Apple. They are at a 29% net profit margin, and Microsoft is at a 34% net profit margin, which, mind you, these are still very, very good numbers, but the fact that Nvidia is at 56% just shows you how how much of an industry leader they are. Now, of course, it's not financial advice, but this is just to give you the data that is available to us so that you can decide whether or not this is an investment for you. Now, I want to show you guys a quick clip by Keenan Grace. He gives a quick breakdown on his thoughts on Nvidia and whether or not it is a buying opportunity right now. So you guys check this out real quick.
Nvidia is coming down. Ticker symbol NVDA, and it's 105 right now. But why am I looking at Nvidia again? Nvidia had a 30% sell-off from the all-time high, and now when you look at the fundamentals of the company, which I've been talking about for years on many different companies, but things like this, Nvidia, is becoming more of a fundamental play. And they say this: Nvidia's price to earnings ratio is now lower than when ChatGPT launched in 2022. What does that mean? They're making so much money that when you look at the price of the stocks to what money they earn, the money has gone up so much since 2022 because AI and artificial intelligence boom, that the PE, a fundamental metric to compare it to other companies, is now in range. And I'm gonna give you some real numbers on that. The current PE is 36. The industry average, the industry that Nvidia is in, is 35. So before, the PE was in the 50s and the 60s, it was crazy. But now the fundamental value of this one is on point. Now, if I could see Nvidia in the 2-digit range, I would love to load up there.
Well, there you go. That is Keenan Grace. That is his opinion on the topic. And I think he broke it down very, very well. And, just really speaks to the power of Nvidia and where we think the share price will be in the future. So I think it is on sale. Personally, I am not going to buy into this because I'm trying to stay away from single stocks at the moment. The only single stock ETF that I have is Misty, based off of MicroStrategy, because they pay massive dividends, and I plan on holding that as long as they continue to pay dividends. Now, the real question for the video is, do I regret selling NVDY from Yield Max? And my answer is no. However, I still think that there is a buying opportunity for income investors who want to have indirect exposure to Nvidia while generating that income. So we can see the 52-week low is at $15 a share. The high is at $31 a share. And I think there is an opportunity here for income investors. Again, I'm staying away from single stock ETFs at the moment, with the exception of MSTY from Yield Max. But I do think that there is an opportunity here for income investors. Now, I just want to show you guys, they do not invest directly into Nvidia. All right, they are doing synthetic options based off of the volatility of Nvidia, but they are not directly invested into Nvidia. So that is something to keep in mind. However, we can see the dividend yield is insane. It is currently at 121%. And if we look at the dividend payouts, we can see that they have paid out monthly consistently since June of 2023. So this ETF is coming up on 2 years. Now, you'll notice that the dividend payments will fluctuate because obviously the dividends are based off of the volatility of Nvidia and how much option premium they are able to extract on that given month. You can see that their most recent payment on February of 28th was about $1.61. So again, to answer the question, no, I do not regret selling Nvidia. I did make some money in total return from this stock when I sold it because I received a decent amount of income. But again, I don't regret selling this. However, if you are an income investor and you're looking for something that has very, very high dividend yield, and you're willing to take a bit of a risk, being that this is dependent on one single company and they are doing synthetic options, they're not actually holding the underlying asset. If you're willing to take on a little risk, I think this could be a good addition to your portfolio. And I've even had moments the past couple weeks thinking about jumping back into this, but I'm gonna hold on for now. But again, I do think it presents a good opportunity, or if you even just want to buy the Nvidia stock itself. So you guys let me know in the comments, do you hold on to Nvidia, NVDY, and what are your thoughts moving forward? Do you think that this stock will continue to climb moving forward? As always, I appreciate you guys stopping by the channel, and I will catch you in the next video.